There was something a bit theatrical to that Rishi Sunak press conference today, talking about how he'd make the House of Lords and the Commons sit through the night and the rest of it. Sure, there has been Lords opposition to this bill, but Rishi Sunak could have tabled a vote till you drop through the night session last week. He could have done it a few weeks ago before the Easter recess, and there's been a lot of puzzlement around this building about why he didn't. Some people think they saw the answer to that today when later in that press conference Rishi Sunak said actually he didn't think any planes would take off and get to Rwanda until July. Originally he said the spring. There's another element to the theatricality of all of this. The idea of voting all the way through the night seems to be quietly maybe evaporating in the House of Lords as we speak. There has been a concession on one of the two amendments that was being pushed by the peers on how there will be a review of Afghans who worked for the British forces. If they are in the cohort that could be deported, there will be special reviews, individual ones of them, and that looks like that's been accepted. So there's one amendment outstanding which the Lords might try and push back, and I think they will push it back at the House of Commons. That wants a review of the safety of Rwanda as the situation there might change, but that'll probably just be pushed back one time. So it doesn't look as though it's going to be quite what Rishi Sunak was billing in that press conference. Here's a clip from that.
The first flight will leave in 10 to 12 weeks. Now, of course, that is later than we wanted, but we have always been clear that processing will take time, and if Labour peers had not spent weeks holding up the bill in the House of Lords to try to block these flights altogether, we would have begun this process weeks ago. And the success of this deterrent doesn't rest on one flight alone. It rests on the relentless, continual process of successfully and permanently removing people to Rwanda with a regular rhythm of multiple flights every month over the summer and beyond until the boats are stopped.
Interesting there, seeing Rishi Sunak manage expectations. Boat numbers could go up, you sense he's saying in code, over the summer. It takes a lot of flights to have a deterrent effect, and the other thing that you're seeing him there is identifying with the cause, which many of the people who might come for him after the local elections in his own party, who might try and topple him, a cause they identify with. And I think in the coming days, in order to shore up his own position in the party, you're going to see him in some settings that play to that particular audience.
Thank you, Gary. So the Prime Minister, as you heard, said planes are booked to take asylum seekers to Rwanda. But how many flights would it take to clear the asylum backlog? About 40,000 asylum seekers are currently in limbo in the UK, unable to claim asylum here because of new government rules. And potentially they're awaiting deportation to Rwanda. Now, when the government last tried to get a flight off to Rwanda in 2022, they wanted to put 130 asylum seekers on the jet. On that basis, it would take more than 300 flights to send the 40,000 asylum seekers in limbo here to Rwanda. But how many flights worth of asylum seekers could Rwanda take? While ministers have said Rwanda could eventually scale up to take thousands of people, the only number they've given so far is that Rwanda has an initial capacity to take 200 asylum seekers. That's a number you could accommodate on 1 or 2 aeroplanes, never mind the dozens or hundreds needed to clear the UK backlog. Well, today, as you've heard, the Prime Minister promised a regular rhythm of multiple flights every month over the summer and beyond until the boats are stopped. And all this means an anxious wait for asylum seekers who've already received letters telling them they're likely to be deported to Rwanda, as our communities editor, Darshana Soni, has been finding out.
That's the first thing we'll plant.
Hoping to plant the seeds of a new life.
And it's just to enrich the soil so that we can grow things better.
They came to the UK to claim asylum and settle here, but they've all been told by the Home Office that instead they could be sent to Rwanda.
Hello, my name is Amin. I'm originally from Afghanistan and I arrived to UK 18th of March 2023.
When you got the letter telling you that you might go to Rwanda, how did that make you feel?
I was frightened actually, I was scared because I have been here in 1 year and I was happy, I was hopeful that it's my final destination. I'm gonna build my home here. But when I received the Rwanda letter, everything just vanished. It's bad.
When the British government says there are too many people like you coming here claiming asylum, that's why they have to think about ideas like Rwanda. What do you say to that?
The thing is, people put their life to danger to cross the channel and come to UK, but maybe maybe they don't have any other choices. I have my reasons, I have my documents to show the Home Office, to, I don't know, government, but to whom should I send it?
And the reason Amin can't make his case to the Home Office is because he arrived after March the 7th last year on a small boat across the Channel. Under the illegal migration bill, this means he can't claim asylum, but he can't be sent to Rwanda yet until that bill clears the Commons. And so he and his friends are hedged in a legal limbo, part of a new backlog of more than 50,000 people.
I'm just getting some spinach so I can plant it for the guys to take home with them.
Bob Hollings volunteers with the asylum seekers and says that this state of uncertainty takes a huge toll on their mental health.
Something that's therapeutic for them, that keeps them going, because quite a few of them, they just plummet in terms of mental health. You can see that they're depressed and difficult to deal with because they just don't know what would face them.
Ever since it first planted the idea 2 years ago, the government's argued Rwanda is a vote winner. Some polls suggest that's true, but others suggest growing public scepticism after it was revealed the overall cost of the scheme now stands at more than £500 million.
So when the government says that most people in Britain, or a lot of people in Britain, support the Rwanda policy.
Well, for instance, up here on the allotments, the other allotment holders have taken them to their hearts, really.
You okay?
It makes me emotional. It's been lovely to see, just a microcosm of Britain. Britain's always been welcoming to other people from other nations.
The Home Office told us all asylum seekers undergo health checks to establish any vulnerabilities.
The government, and in particular Rishi Sunak, have staked so much on the Rwanda plan. It's come to represent the Prime Minister's authority, his ability to get things done, to deliver on promises. He's now relying on the imagery of planes, even one plane, taking off before the next general election.
As the Prime Minister battles over the bill with the House of Lords, what next for those whose futures depend on the outcome?
Hello, my name is Hamza. I'm from Iran.
Hello, my name is Mohsen. I'm from Iran.
Basically, they just arrest you and then send you to Rwanda.
Hamza and Mohsen showed me the letters they've received from the Home Office, telling them they may be sent to East Africa.
I
could have stayed in Iran, but would have faced punishment, maybe even death.
Mohsen says he had to flee after writing an article about Christianity and religious freedoms at university. Hamza says the security services knocked on his door after he took part in protests.
I participated in Mahsa Amini's revolutionary uprising. We distributed leaflets with some friends in order to raise awareness. Iran is a dictatorship. You have to live according to their wishes. You can't do what you want and live the way you want.
All the men say even if they'd known about the Rwanda scheme, it wouldn't have stopped them from crossing the channel, despite the government's claim it'll act as a deterrent.
I did not come to this country willingly. I think if the world powers get united to eliminate dictators and make the world safe, people can live in their own country. No one would come here.
Here we're going to grow sunflowers.
Although concerns have been raised in the House of Lords and by some in the Commons, the Prime Minister insisted today that the Rwanda bill will pass into law and that flights will take off in 10 to 12 weeks, an anxious wait for those whose lives may be uprooted again.